Hi, welcome to my tutorial in Adobe Photoshop. What you'll need to take this photo is a tripod, an assistant hand, an umbrella, and your pet. To make this edit easy as possible, take one photo with your subjects and another with no one in the photo. And just be sure when you're taking the photo with nobody that you're focused on the same kind of area that you were focused on with your dog. When taking the photo, make sure your tripod is not moving. This will make your editing process 100 times easier. Now that you got these two beautiful photos, let's take this into Lightroom. Right-click both and off to Photoshop we go. Now the first thing you're gonna do is go to the photo with your subjects and you're gonna press the little wand in the left corner. This is how you'll select something. Now there's going to be a button on the top bar that says select subject. This makes everything so much easier. Otherwise, you can use the egg tool, which I will be using in just a second. So select your subject. So it selected basically the outline of Lala and Brandon, and for the sake of accuracy, I'm just going to add a little bit with the egg tool, just so I don't miss any fur or fluff. Now copy and paste it into your other document with no subjects. Now make sure you have the top photo selected in your layers menu, and you're gonna press the little box that has a circle cut out of it. This is the masking tool. This will make a little white box appear. So you're gonna select this white box and then go to your paint to your left, which is a black and white box, and it lets you go in between these two colors with just that little arrow tool. So make sure that black is in front of the white, and then you're gonna start brushing over everything you don't want involved. If you erase too much, toggle between the black and white box and you can bring anything back. That's the best part about mask. Nothing is permanent. And if you get tired of freestyling it, you can press the select subject again with the egg tool or the magic tool, and it will hopefully do a good job circling your subject. Next, I have this little gap in my umbrella. While I could copy and paste the real photo into here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a piece of the pattern, copy it, paste it onto a new layer, move it to where I want to fill it in, and then I'm just going to erase the excess. So just along the umbrella here. So that's using copy, paste, and eraser. One tool that I use for editing colors, lighting, anything to a specific layer is under filter, and it's called Camera Raw. So this will take you to a layout that's actually very similar to Lightroom. So if you're pretty comfortable with Lightroom, this will be the tool for you. Otherwise, you can just go edit, adjustments, and do your editing that way. Next, while my subject and my background are so nicely separate, I'm going to use that to my advantage and edit both the background and the dog separately. What you might find in doing this is that because my subject is not clean cut, you might see the difference in the floor because I have pieces of floor in my subjects layer. What I ended up doing is duplicating my subject and only edited the top one. So therefore, when something didn't mix as well, I could easily mask it and give a more merged finish. Get rid of all those edges. And you're gonna do this with the brush tool. Just make sure it's a very soft brush tool. So you can change the softness just like the size. Next, I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to briefly show you how to use the sky replacement tool. So you press edit, then sky replacement down in the bottom there. And then it takes sometimes a really long time to load, but basically it gives you a selection of skies. So in a perfect world, there would be, well, one, my photo would have more sky. Like it has a lot of trees. The sky replacement works best if you have a super clear sky, like mountain, sky, and that's it. Then it's really easy to use these. Because I do not have a clear sky, that's why I'm gonna pass today, because it just made it too complicated and gross looking. The best advice I can give you with the sky replacement tool is just play around. I'm not a master of making this work. I just work it until I like it. The next tool is if you go File, Place, you can place any other file or photo into your document. So I have a bunch I either drew myself, I've purchased, or I just found on the internet. And the one I'll be working with today is a rain filter. I also will be using a fog filter. I also think I just threw in a cloudy sky just to define the clouds a little bit. I'm not sure of how successful it was. But those three I will be file and place embedded or linked, it doesn't really matter, into my document. To the right, you will see that I'm changing the transparency. This is super useful when you want to put in a different sky photo, but maybe it's too strong or it looks just fake. You can adjust the adjustment. So even if it's just a little bit of a tint at the end of the day, sometimes that's all your photo needs. Next, we're going to work with one of my favorite tools. It's called the clipping mask. So what you're gonna do is, you see that I have this little awkward chunk out of my umbrella where Brandon's hand was. What I can do is I can take the brush tool, make sure it's not too horrendously big, and I'm gonna basically draw over where I want to fill in this umbrella. I'm now going to lasso a piece of the pattern of the umbrella. Just ensure you're on the layer with the umbrella to begin with. Copy and paste and move this layer above the layer that you have your scribble on. Right click the pattern and press clipping mask. This will take the pattern and have it only show up where you painted. You can use the brush tool and the erase tool to adjust where you want this pattern to be. We are now at the final step of our tutorial. Are you ready to be bamboozled? It's the face swap. So take a photo you love of your dog. Maybe she's smiling, maybe she's making a really funny face. And you can select that and copy and paste it into your document. Obviously, there are some restrictions, but aside from those, you can use the masking tool to basically form this face and adjust temperature and lighting to make it look exactly like it was taken the same day. This works with eye replacement, maybe nose replacement. If you have anything out of focus, this works every time. And that's why, as a photographer, I take 100 shots. Well, that's it for the tutorial today. Thank you for watching, and make sure you give us a follow and just like all our photos. Thanks.